Hey, what's up, man? This is Big West coming at you. I got another video for you today. Video, and I want to drop some knowledge about men and women. You meet a girl, meet a woman, she has kids. You know how I feel about my fellas out there dating chicks that have kids by other men, multiple men, whatever. Um, I'm not saying that the woman ain't no good or whatever. You just need to know what comes with this person. All right, because problems come with people. Every person that you interact with, they got some problems that might come with them, right? When you did a real pretty chick, bad chick, Instagram model, there's problems that's gonna come with her. You did a chick that got a kid by another dude, and the dude is abusive. You got problems that come with her. So everybody knows, excuse me, Eva Marcel. She married the guy Michael Sterling, who's a lawyer. He was running for mayor of Atlanta and blah 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 and all this shit, right? Well, there's a lot of people over there that dig into her history of what she did and who she dated and this and that or whatever. And here's the thing: I don't care how much money a woman has, she's still going to act the way she is if she had no money at all. So apparently, she was dating this dude. Homeboy name was Kevin something, Kevin McCall, right? So she's dating Kevin McCall. You know what I'm saying? She gets pregnant by him. So now she states that, after she got pregnant, the dude, Kevin McCall, got violent. So now she's saying that he's whipping her ass, right? So she went on a Ricky Smiley show. She was crying about it, right? Because apparently she was holding her daughter on one of the occasions where shit got violent. So she said she had enough and she ran from old boy. That's it. I'm not fucking with you. I'm out. She ran from him. He was looking for her, trying to get visitation and all this other shit, right? Notice I didn't say she put him on child support. So a little whiles later, she runs into this guy. She found a mark, and the mark was Mr. Michael Sterling, right? He looked like a good catch. He looked like a boss. You know what I'm saying? There was whispers of him running for mayor. So she like, right, this nigga, all right, yeah, that's more like it. But he was soft on the inside, too soft, too good. Dude adopted her freaking daughter. He adopted a daughter, and guess what? 5 years later, she taking a nigga for child support for that daughter that's not his. He adopted her, but he's gonna have to pay for a daughter that's not his. She ain't even put the original father on child support, bro. But she put this nigga on child support. Why? Because he's softer than the other one. You can't be too nice to a woman. A woman is a straight help mate. All of this super duper falling in love, give you the sun, rain, rainbows, all that bullshit, man. You're gonna get this shit handed to you, man. Shit happened to me. Happened to a lot of people. You be super nice, and that shit don't work out. You might as well have been a dickhead. So guess what? Now everybody's gonna be a dickhead. So I wanted to run a few minutes down because I didn't want these motherfuckers to tag my video. But you gotta hear my man. My man breaks it down. The lead attorney. Listen, man, you gotta follow this dude. You gotta listen to his advice. He's a 20-year attorney, man. 20-year divorce attorney, right? And now he just comes online and drops knowledge here and there. But check this shit out.
And she has a 2-year-old. You're a man, you've got money, you've got your career, you're settled, you're stable, you don't have any kids, you know, you're not scared of a 2-year-old. Plus, it's a great woman. So y'all start dating. You decide to get married when the child is 4. So you meet the woman with the 2-year-old, y'all date for a couple of years, you're in your mid 30s, so you're stable. So you date her about 2 years and the child is 4. Then what happens? Well, along with the marriage, you say, hey, I've been with this child for 2 years. I've taken this child to Chuck E. Cheese. I've taught this child this and that. You know, I've invested so much monetarily into this child. I've invested so much time, so much of my resources, so much of my knowledge into this child. I'll just adopt the child. Fine. And she's happy. Your wife's happy. Well, 3 years later, guess what? She's not so happy. Let's say now the child is 7. She decides to file for a divorce. You say, well, no, I've been a good husband. I don't want the divorce to go through. The judge says, you know, I don't really care what you want, because there's no such thing now as a divorce that is conditioned upon a reason, a divorce that is conditioned upon a justification. Your wife, sir, can divorce you for any reason and for no reason. So she divorces you when the child is 7. Now you're going to get a shock.
You heard that. She could divorce you for any reason or no reason. You put all that time, all that good shit, all that money, all that everything you done sacrificed, your youthful years of running around, you know what I'm saying, slinging cock, enjoying life, to one box, hearing her nagging, sacrificing your time and all that shit just for this chick to have the ability to leave you whenever the fuck she feels like it.
Once you get that complaint for divorce that I drew up. Why? Because first of all, you're going to see that your wife wants a divorce, and maybe she talked about it, but maybe she didn't. Either way, you didn't know she was going to go through with it. And then on top of that, guess what? She's asking for child support. How much is she asking for? $1,000 a month. What's the problem? It's not your kid. It's not your biological child. So you say, well, wait a minute now. You know, if it was my child, I don't have a problem with it. But this is Tony's kid. This ain't my kid. No, it's Tony's biological kid. And it was Tony's legal kid until you decided to step into his shoes. You decided to assume his responsibilities. You decided to sever his parental rights and take them on as your own. So now, even though it's not your biological kid, it is your legal kid. You're on the birth certificate, remember? Your wife was so happy, remember? Well, guess what? She's still happy that you are the legal father. Why? Because Tony wasn't paying any child support. That's why it was so easy for him to lose his legal rights. It was so easy for you guys to hire the attorney to sever his legal rights. He wasn't supporting the child. But now here you come, a good earner, you're intelligent, and you're stable. And now she's asking for $1,000 a month. And when you say that it's not your child, the judge is going to correct you. He's going to say legally that is your child. So child 7 years old, $1,000 a month. Let's say in your state, the child support ends at age 18. In Georgia, it's 18. And well, it can be 19 or 20, depending on when the child graduates from high school. In New York, it's 21. In some states, it can go a little further than that. But let's say that you're in Georgia and the child graduates and at 18. So the child is 7. You got about, 11 years of child support. At $1,000 a month, how much is that? It's going to break your heart. It's $132,000. Cash money, $132,000. You are giving the woman who divorced you, by the way, you are giving the woman that doesn't like you, doesn't want to be with you, doesn't have any obligation to you, doesn't have to do anything for you into the future. You have to pay her $1,000 a month every single month until the child turns 18. That's $132,000. You're giving her that for a child that is not yours. What is that? I mean, it's a wealth transfer. It's basically what it is. Listen now, by marrying you and divorcing you, That woman got $132,000 to support her child. $132,000, by the way, that Tony was never going to pay. $132,000, by the way, that is tax-free. So if it's tax-free, you know, we're really talking about it's $132,000 to her, but maybe it took you $160,000 to earn. You had to earn $160,000, $170,000 to be able to pay her $132,000 because you're paying her with after-tax funds. Uncle Sam has already got their money out. Now, what happens if you say, well, hey, wait a minute. Now, this ain't my kid, so I don't want to pay. Well, you've got contempt of court charges. Right? A judge can hold you in contempt of court. You're going to have to pay attorney's fees. You're going to have to pay costs of litigation. If you don't want to pay, your wages can be garnished. If you don't want to pay, your bank accounts can be frozen. In a lot of states, your property can be seized. If you have a child support debt, your tax.
Yo, what the fuck, bro? Your property, what the fuck, what? Yo, that's crazy.
Tax refunds can be intercepted. Your passport can be denied. You want to go on and live your life. You cannot, because now you have negative credit score reporting. You didn't pay child support. Now your credit score is 518. Uh-oh. You know, your license, your driver's license can be suspended. If you have professional licenses, those can be suspended.
Oh, shit.
Is there anything else that can happen to you? Well, the garnishment of wages, contempt of court. Is there anything? Feels like I'm forgetting about something that can happen to you if you don't pay your child. Oh, yeah, jail. Jail. There are thousands and thousands of men in this country today, right now, as you listen to my voice, there are thousands and thousands of men that are in jail currently on child support warrants and for child support debts. Now, they say America doesn't have a debtor's prison. Fair enough. Don't pay your child support. See where you land. You are facing all of these risks. Why? Because you decided to step in the shoes of the legal father. Now, you say, well, lead attorney, can this happen in real life? The answer is yes. That's why I'm talking about it. Typically, it happens for two reasons. Number one, the man doesn't know. Guys, I cannot tell you how many times I have done an initial intake with a man who wants to adopt his stepchild and told him, oh yeah, by the way, you know, if you get divorced, you're going to have to pay child support for this child. He's like, what? Oh yeah. You say, well, the child's only 5 years old. Well, that's a lot of years you got. Also, the other reason, the main reason that this happens is because number one, the fathers don't know this feature of adoption, and number two, the father doesn't care. The father doesn't care that he's going to be on the hook for all these consequences. Why? Because just like Elon Musk said, you know, Elon was talking about how he wanted a thing to be different than how it is in reality. And so many men believe
Melio enables you to pay any vendor, even vendors that only accept checks, with either ACH.
That their marriages are as permanent as an adoption. So many men believe that there's no chance that this woman is going to divorce them after 3 years, 5 years, this 7-year itch. They don't think it's a possibility. They might know that 70% of the divorces are initiated by women, but they are willing to bet everything. They are willing to bet $132,000 that they're going to be in that 30%. And it happens to men in the lower economic class, the men in the middle economic class, the men in the higher economic class. Just 2 weeks ago down here in Atlanta, a woman named Eva Marcel filed a divorce against
That's what
a
I'm
Michael
talking about,
Sterling. Who is Eva Marcel? Well, she's a Real Housewife of Atlanta. And she's also America's Top Model winner. She won that contest. She was also an actress on The Young and the Restless. 5 years after her wedding, guess what she did? She filed a divorce. Fair enough. You can file your complaint for divorce. They have kids. One of the kids is adopted. In her complaint for divorce, let me ask you a question. Do you think that she's asking for child support for the adopted kid?
You betcha.
The answer is yes. Yes, she is. Is there anything that Mr. Sterling can do to avoid paying child support for this kid? The answer is no. And if he refuses to pay, contempt of court, garnishment of wages, tax refund interception, frozen bank accounts, property seizures, suspension of licenses, suspension of professional licenses. Yeah, that one thing, jail. Guys, there's no problem with getting married if you get married with a prenup, because a prenup is kind of your safeguard. There is no safeguard for these adoptions. You can't put in your
Bruh. That's why this guy, he's got great advice, man. He's been doing it for 20 years. This chick just violated this guy and is getting away with it. There's no moral court that's held. You know what I'm saying?
Eva Marcel isn't just known for winning the third cycle.
Shout out to RRG. RRG. We're going to give them a follow. Fair use.
Of America's Next Top Model and for her time on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's also been in the news for her messy dating history. She had her Cinderella moment when she married Atlanta attorney Michael Sterling.
He is the quintessential Southern gentleman.
But after 4 years of marriage, Eva pulled the plug on their relationship, and everyone is wondering what went wrong.
Mike, where you going? Don't embarrass me in front of all your fans. Mike.
She over there treating this nigga like Will Smith. Look at this shit.
Mike. Sterling, where you going? I'm just going to meet Trey. I don't want no problems. You got it. No.
Although we don't have all the details as to why Eva filed for divorce, there were a few bumps along the road that had many people worried. Before we get into today's video, don't forget to scoop up something to munch on. Finding out she was pregnant, Kevin became violent toward her. She gave birth to their daughter Marley in January 2014, and the abuse allegedly continued.
And the final straw was when Marley was actually in my arms once, and I was like, I can't do this no more.
Oh my God.
Damn. All right,
in response
to so what is it, man? Do women like these? I don't understand what it is. Do they like these type of niggas, man? That beat them up and, you know what I'm saying, put them through hell? Because it seems like if you're too nice to a woman, she's going to abuse you, right? But if you're an asshole, she likes that, right? She probably would have stayed with him because he's an asshole, but he was ping-ponging her ass around too much. He ping-ponged if he wouldn't have hit her when she had the kid, her ass would still be with the nigga.
To the physical allegations, Kevin told People magazine, "Every fight I ever gotten into since my career has been protecting Eva from her own mess and disputes." In 2015, she ended.
Why she had to make his voice sound like that, right?
Their relationship and has since taken out multiple restraining orders against Kevin. They also battled over custody of their daughter, and Eva was eventually awarded primary custody. Eva moved forward with raising her daughter as a single mom in Los Angeles. And
as a single mom, as a baby mama, they ain't said shit about child support. They just said she put out a few restraining orders on the nigga. but she ain't put him on child support.
Things weren't always easy. Thankfully, she had a shooter on speed dial. For those of you who are unaware, a shooter is like a friend or a family member that has your back and will beat the brakes off of anyone on your behalf. Eva told Hello Beautiful website that she agreed to go to the fundraiser, and while there, she met Texas native Michael Sterling, a former federal prosecutor who was working as the advisor to the mayor of Atlanta. She told the Undressing Room podcast, "I just kept thinking, who is that yellow boy?" She admitted it was love at first sight. They hit it off and had their first date at Del Frisco restaurant. Although Eva lived in Los Angeles and Michael was based out of Atlanta, they decided to give their long-distance relationship a shot. They kept their relationship on the down low so they could build a strong foundation.
I came from a tumultuous situation prior to. And so someone has to have a lot of chutzpah
Right.
to take all of that on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a whole huge person with a daughter and a whole life before him. And he came in like a champ. He really did.
They went public with their romance in March.
In like a champ, out like a chump.
March 2016, when Michael posted Eva as his Woman Crush Wednesday. He included the caption, "Thank you for your unequivocal support and consistent encouragement in all things. I'm so fortunate to have you." From there, messy bloggers started digging for tea, and they put all of Michael's information on blast. Everything Urban Radioscope website reported that despite Michael having aspirations of becoming the mayor of Atlanta, he was nothing more than a celebrity groupie. The website added that he was last spotted at Pepsi's Black History celebration at Doe Restaurant with Day. Eva shared a picture of Michael and Marley on her Instagram in January 2018, and Kevin wasn't pleased. He said he couldn't believe there was another man in his daughter's life when he had been desperately trying to get visitation rights. Eva told an online source that Michael was Marley's new father, and Kevin was nothing but a donor, a blast from the past and a distant memory.
She's talking that hot shit, talking that hot, spicy shit. Nigga, you was a donor. How the fuck is this nigga a donor? It's fucked up now because if dude adopted him, he there's nothing he could do. If dude adopted his daughter, there's nothing he could do legally. That ain't your kid legally no more, man. You can't even get visitation rights. Now, unless you want to me to sign her back over to you and then you pick up these child support payments. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Mike will be good. Mike will be happy to do that shit, but
when I found out that Google was doing career certificates and they had one in data analytics, I thought it seems like an easy.
Their son, Michael Jr., was born in April 2018. To make their family feel more complete, Michael took the steps to legally change Marley's name to Marley Sterling so they could all have the same last name. In October 2018, Eva and Michael became husband and wife. Online sources state their wedding costs between $300,000 and $500,000. And it was filmed for an episode of the Bravo reality series after Eva was made a full-time housewife. Not long after, her bridesmaid and former friend, Sunita, contacted Real Housewives cast member Marlo Hampton to tell all of Eva's business. Marlo then shared on camera that Eva and Michael were allegedly broke, and Eva was footing the bill for most of their expenses. There were rumors that they were living in a rented home and they were facing eviction.
Tell me what you know.
Well, first of all, the house that she's in is not actually where she lives. She lives in a raggedy little house.
There were also claims that the couple committed some kind of scam to obtain a vehicle. For the part she played in telling Eva's business, online users accused Marlo of being a messy escort. Eventually, the gossip spilled over onto social media, with Eva, Sunita, and Eva's cousin going back and forth about the allegations. In an Instagram comment, Sunita said the 5-bedroom house Eva was living in was rented by her family as well. She added that Eva ran up the utilities on the property in a senior citizen's name, and Sunita's family planned to take Eva to court. We are unable to confirm if these allegations were actually true. Eva was called out for bouncing around from house to house during an episode of Real Housewives. She confirmed that she moved a lot because she didn't want Kevin to track her down, and she wanted her family to be safe.
She mentioned something about her safety and that they had 3 homes that they moved between.
She gave birth to another baby boy named Maverick in September 2019. 3 months later, Eva purchased a home in Alpharetta, Georgia for $780,000. According to the Blast website, Eva bought the home on her own without any help from her husband, and the mortgage was solely in her name. So, were the rumors about Eva footing the bill in their relationship true? Possibly. And if you're concerned about your safety, would you really post a picture of the outside of your house on social media?
I don't know if Eva is a liar, but it seems like she's getting a little caught up now. It's looking a little stupid.
Maybe Eva should have waited to make that big purchase because her time as a full-time housewife came to an end after season 12 wrapped in 2020. She kept busy by appearing in made-for-TV movies, and in the spring of 2021, Michael began teaching at Texas Southern University. A few months later, Eva was sued by her neighborhood's homeowners association after she allegedly failed to pay her fees, which totaled a little over $2,000. In October 2022, in honor of their 4-year wedding,
They had to sue her for $2,000? Damn.
Anniversary, Eva shared photos
Shit, I got that.
from their wedding day, along with the caption, "It's all about the journey." 5 months later, she filed for divorce. In court docs obtained by Page 6, Eva said their marriage is irretrievably broken and that there are no prospects for a reconciliation. After news of their divorce hit the web, Michael contacted the Jasmine brand website and said, "I am not going to lose my wife. I am going to fight for her with every fiber in my being. I love her and plan to show her how much I love her and that our love is strong enough to get to the other side."
Bro, does that bitch deserve your love? You can't see it right now, man. You can't see it because you're blind. You're blinded by your fucking achy breaky heart right now, bro. You're about to get fucked. And she's losing respect for you because you say shit like that. If you'd have got on there and said, yo, she a foul ass bitch for fucking divorcing me after I adopted her kid, I don't wish no good on her. I hope she fucking marries a nigga and he beats her ass till she's fucking 60 and then she dies alone. If you just said some shit like that, bro, she'd have been upset, and then she'd have been like, probably respected you more and probably gave you some pussy just because you seemed hard. But to say, oh, I'm not gonna lose my wife, and these fucking chick, money hungry, grubbing, lazy, using marriage as insurance policy, broads don't care about that shit. She don't care about you, man. If she cared about you, she wouldn't dare do no shit like that. You adopted her kid. She said you came in like a champ when she's a lot to deal with, blah, 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 blah. And in between that and now, she said it's irretrievably broken and there's no chance of getting back together, bro. Now you saying every fiber of your being and you love her and plan to show her how much you love. You ain't showed her how much you loved her in the whole 5 fucking years. Yo, man, just I don't know. Find a way to get some more bread, and just you fucked now, bro. You're fucked. You gotta, as Andrew Tate says, man, you just gotta make the next best move on the chessboard, bro. But she don't deserve that love, man. She's a whore. She does not deserve that love, man.
Do you think they'll reconcile, or is this marriage over for good? Let us know down below, and thanks for watching RRG.
Who the hell is LaToya Luckett?
How would you like to earn $10,000 a month? Or better yet, $100,000 a month like Catherine here? This girl's
Schmegular man named Tomicus Tommy Walker. We even featured their love story in a previous video, which...
What's that nigga name? Tomicus? Oh, man.
We've linked for you in the description box. Initially, we thought the Houston native had found her perfect match, but come to find out, their relationship was a hot, stinking mess, and Tommy was for the streets. Allegedly.
I've been fighting for my place.
Fight a damn thing. But that's one of your mouth and make sound good.
Yo, Sterling, you need to watch this nigga here. This how you supposed to be talking to that fucking little peanut head bitch that's taking you for everything. Rewind that back.
I've been fighting for my place.
Fight a damn thing. But that's one of your mouth and make sound good.
Before these red flags start busting you upside the head, don't forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com. Our marriage to Rob Hillman came to an end. LaToya told Essence Magazine she was handing things over to God. She threw out her list of qualities she wanted in a partner and decided to allow life to unfold on its own. And maybe that's where things went wrong. NBC News compared dating without a game plan to going to the grocery store without a shopping list. You end up impulsively grabbing a bunch of items you don't need and end up leaving the store without the one thing you went shopping for in the first place. In other words, it's always best to keep a clear idea of what you want in a partner and a relationship so you don't end up settling for a bugaboo. LaToya put her energy into practicing self-love. She also went to Pastor John Gray for some advice. The same pastor that has been caught up in a couple of cheating allegations, allegedly. But anyway, LaToya told Pastor Gray she was sick of going through life on her own, and she had an intense urge to find the right partner and start a family. Some might say LaToya was a bit desperate, a divorced father of one. Nikki gave LaToya a brief rundown about Tommy, and LaToya was intrigued. She told Nikki it was okay to give him her number, but only on one condition. She told Nikki she bet not give Tommy her full name or any information about her being a celebrity. LaToya wanted to make sure he had good intentions and liked her for who she was. Meanwhile, after his 8-year marriage came to an end, Tommy told XO Nicole website he fasted from dating and embraced a life of celibacy. He said he took a step back from being around a lot of women and focused on co-parenting his daughter and running his business called Walker Enterprise in Dallas, Texas. In one interview, he said he wasn't interested in getting married again because he didn't want to experience any more heartbreak. But in an interview with Essence Magazine, Tommy said he was getting ready for his future wife. He wrote down all the attributes he was looking for in a partner. He wanted her to be a helpmate, a teammate, and his soulmate. The day after Nikki gave him LaToya's number, he called her, and the Texas natives hit it off immediately. Tommy said that at first, LaToya felt like one of his homegirls because she was, quote, country as hell. But once they started praying together over the phone, everything shifted. Their conversations got deeper as they talked about their lives and read the Bible together. They even talked about settling down and starting a family, even though he didn't know what she looked like and she only referred to herself as Toya.
She always just said Toya, so another black girl named Toya, you know.
Why gotta be another black girl named Toya?
Because most black girls are named Toya.
No, they not!
Tommy told her all about his daughter, Madison, and oddly enough, LaToya told Christian Post website that she always dreamed of having a little girl and naming her Madison, so she took it as a sign from God. She was living in Los Angeles at the time, and after a month, Tommy and his daughter flew out to LA to meet her in person. Now, why did he bring that innocent baby to another state to meet a stranger? Child. They had their first date at a restaurant, and that's when she told him her full name. Tommy's response was,
LaToya from Destiny's Child? Man, I had a crush on you in high school, dog.
Now listen, if you have a crush on a celebrity, wouldn't you recognize them right away? Especially if the celebrity's face card has remained the same throughout the years? Yeah, we're calling cap on this one. For their second date, LaToya and a friend took Tommy and his daughter to Disneyland. LaToya told Essence that by that point, she had fallen for him. And by date number 3, Tommy said he knew he was staring into the eyes of his future wife. They got engaged in August 2017, and they became husband and wife 4 months later, with Pastor John as the officiator. Less than a year after saying I do, they announced they had a baby on the way. All of LaToya's dreams were finally coming true. But there was already trouble in paradise. During an episode of T.I. and Tiny Friends and Family Hustle, doctors were concerned about LaToya going into preterm labor. Instead of remaining by her side during that difficult time, Tommy left to spend time with his daughter in Dallas, whom he hadn't seen in 2 weeks.
Listen, that's not fair. That's not fair, man. She gonna be all right. He gotta go see his fucking daughter. What the fuck?
Because she suffered a miscarriage during her relationship with Rob Hillman, LaToya was on edge and anxious. She wanted her husband to be by her side, but he wasn't. In that situation, LaToya was facing 2 challenges. The first one was her realization that there might be certain situations where her husband would put his child first. The second challenge included all of the issues that came with being newlyweds and having a baby on the way so soon after tying the knot. She admitted during an episode of Friends and Family.
First of all, if you're dealing with a baby mama, she let you know if her child come first. So what's up with the double standard?
Hustle that she and Tommy were still getting to know each other, all while starting a family. So, did they rush into the marriage? You betcha. They celebrated their first.
I ain't gotta see no more. Y'all want to watch that joint? You can go watch that joint. There were so many red flags. LaToya Luckett. Blah blah. All right, man. Later.